So this video comes from a question that I saw on Stack Overflow, which is given a sentence, get the shortest word from a sentence. And for example, here the shortest word is X, and then this should give us back the value X over here. Now, I'm going to show two ways of actually doing this, and the first method is a method that I built, although I did actually modify this little part of the method. And then the second method is this is a method that the AI gave me back, and I was using Claude AI for the prompting to get me this back. Now, my method was relatively straightforward initially, but the first thing that normally we want to do when we see this is we want to do something like a word dot split here. And this word dot split on a sentence, if I was to take this and put this kind of like at the top, so like how does this operate? If we do a word dot split on this particular sentence in here, then it will give us back an array. So we kind of want to use this feature. Initially, this is sort of like what probably jumps to mind for most people, and it passes us back this array that looks like this. But the one caveat to that, and this is the one modification or improvement that I had, was that this sentence here actually contained a full stop, and therefore this word here contained a full stop. And now this is 2 characters long, and this is 2 characters long. So I had to put this modification, and this modification is something that actually I saw. So I took it from the AI, which came up with this idea. In fact, I kind of like simplified it a bit, so it was the AI plus myself, but this translates all of this stuff here. This line was in this one sentence and it went over the 80 character mark, so I kind of like split it into two. But you can see one thing which is quite nice is both methods use this word dot split. Now I've taken a dictionary approach to my method. I'm just going to remove all of these because we don't need them. I've taken a dictionary approach to my method, which is I take this words dot split from the top here and then I pass it into a dictionary. So it actually looks something like this. I go through each one of these and I get the for KV. If we just take a look down here, it says for W in words dot split. Sorry, for W in words dot split. So for each word in words dot split, actually give us back a dictionary whose key value is the actual word, whose key is the actual word, and whose value is the length of the word. So it's going to iterate through this list here, and it's going to give back the with a 3 because it's a length of 3, and then it's going to go through the next word, which is shortest, and that is 8 characters long. I'm not putting the quotations around it just because I just want to be a bit quicker about it. And then it's going to go through word over here, paste that in, then and it'll be 4 characters long, and so forth. That's what's actually going to happen. And then from that, I actually find the minimum key in the dictionary. So that's kind of like quite a nice short thing. And again, I actually took this from the AI. There are different ways, but basically what you want to then do is be able to iterate from this, iterate through this dictionary in some way and go like, hey, like this one here is the shortest one. And if we found a shorter one somewhere else, so if I did actually put like this is in here, it won't update it until it gets to this point, and then it will get is, and it will be of size 2, and so forth. And so it will find the smallest value in the dictionary. This one here is now the smallest value in the dictionary, and that's what gets returned in the function. So I'm going to call this method 1, and method 2. In fact, I usually use lowercase, but the AI uses uppercase. I'm just going to change my remove punctuation. But the one nice thing that this does is actually it removes a punctuation mark. So it takes out the commas and the full stops and things like that. And it replaces them with a nothing. So it cleans the string. So that was quite a nice add-on that I wasn't actually expecting. And it uses 2 things that I've not really seen before. So in fact, it uses 3 things that I've not seen before, which is translate, and replace each character in the string using a given translation. And the actual translation that we're going to be using in this make translation, return a translation table. So it creates this table usable for str.translate. So we're creating some sort of translation table. So that's quite nice, because some of these like natural language toolkits, so the NLTK, for example, natural language toolkit, does these types of processes, and I actually didn't realize that this existed in just native Python, so without having to do an import of you know of a much more complicated package. So that's a very nice thing that the AI added. But the other thing is I thought it'd be quite clever to put it into a dictionary and then go through the dictionary, because it's visually easier to do. And the reason why is that when I started doing it with a list, I was like, well, I go through a list, and so I can create a list like this. We can create a list over here of words, and then create another list down below of the length of each of the words. So one just straight below. So this is 3 long, and then this one is 8 long, and then this one is 4 long, and this one is 2 long, and sort of like use an indexing method to do it. And that was like my first approach, because lists are very easy to work with. And this one here, if it's stripped, it would be 1 long, but if it's not stripped, it's going to be 2 long. So we'll use a stripped version of it now, and I'll remove the dot from it. So that was the second method, but then I kind of like aborted it, and I went to this dictionary thing because I wanted the keys and the values, because I thought it'd be easier. But actually, the AI agent again uses this on the minimum, so it does use just a simple split. So it does a split method, split into words. So it's removed the punctuation, then it's done a split into the words, and then finally it's actually done the minimum keyword, which I knew to use the minimum use the minimum function, but it's got this extra keyword in there, and the keyword is on len. So it's actually taking the smallest length in the words dictionary. So it's returning the word with the smallest length, which is quite a nice thing to be able to do. So here I think if I can, I don't know if I can or can't scroll down on this, but with a single iterable argument returns its smallest item. The default keyword only argument specifies an object to return if provided the iterable is empty. Okay, an object to return if provided the iterable is empty, with 2 or more arguments, return the smallest one. Okay, so basically, if we don't put anything in, we're just going to get, I guess, well, it gives me the minimum value of the words, but that wouldn't make sense. So it turns them all into the length of them. So when we run these 2 functions now, we should actually get the same results coming. Well, not exactly the same results, because we put 2 different strings in there, but the first shortest word is X and the new shortest word is hi. And the reason why we get that is because I actually run them here in this main loop, just to keep everything away from the top level. So this is our first method, and we can see that the string that goes in here is the shortest word is, and then the AI just generated its own sentence over there. I think I modified the sentence slightly because this was A, and I wanted to just check, but I can run it again with this being A. Let's do an F5 just to run it. It should now return A as the shortest word. But I just wanted to make sure that something else, or something where the comma was, or something wouldn't come about. I wanted to make sure that hi came about, or was I comparing hi with is, and they were both equal in length, and I just wanted to test that hi would come out if there was a longer word. But obviously, if there's a in here, that comes out first because it's the shortest word. But that's basically it. There's 2 methods now for getting the shortest word in a string in Python, and in a sentence in Python, and returning that back. You can choose. In fact, it'd be quite interesting to see what the general preference is. Is the preference to go with this nearly fully generated AI function here, which removes the punctuation, splits the word, and then just does get the shortest word using the minimum function with a key word equal to len? Or is it easier, more intuitively easier to use a dictionary and then get the smallest item out of the dictionary? So which one do you think is like your preference? Which one do you think might work faster or better? So that's basically it. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe, follow. If you don't like the video, also hit the like button, follow and subscribe, and that's it.